All right. So we're gonna start on child's pose. Feel free to adjust your practice as much as you need to. If you feel tired at any point in the practice, you can go back to child's pose. If you need blocks, a blanket, just make this practice one that feels absolutely nourishing for you. Hi, Didi. Come back. Adjust, never pain, never discomfort. We just want to push into a limit that we feel sensation in the body, muscle stretch, a little bit of resistance, a little bit of like using the muscles, but never pain. Let's go ahead and start in your child's pose. Adjusting here a little bit like that. And from child's pose, you can bring the feet together and open your knees wide. We're gonna stretch the inner thighs and the hips, and just walk the hands in front of you and rest the forehead on your mat. Just take a couple of breaths in here to settle in. Feel free to kind of gently rock the hips side to side, almost like stretching gently the inner thighs. And just feel the weight of your body as you anchor through your hands, your feet, and your legs into your mat. And take a full deep breath in through the nose. And full breath out through the nose. I want you to observe your body, letting go of any tension that you might feel on the hips and the shoulders. In your next inhale, slowly lift the head, and we're gonna walk our hands all the way to the right for a little bit of lateral flexion of the side bend. So bring your left hand on top of your right hand and drop the chest down towards your right thigh. Just lean your chest or your ribs to the left and anchor through the left hip. So we're gonna stretch the side of your spine. And just let the head drop and relax in here and continue to breathe fully through the nose. Just take one more breath in and slowly lift the chest and the head. Walk your hands back to center. And we're just gonna do the opposite side. Right hand on top of the left, and then you're gonna drop the chest down and lean into the right side of your body. We wanna stretch and feel that lengthen on the right side of your torso. And then slowly and slowly, you're gonna come all the way out, come back to center, and find your tabletop. So hands and knees, shoulders above the wrist, spreading your fingers wide. Adjust your knees right under the hips and tuck your toes. So you bring some love into the toes, stretch the toes. 4 rounds of cat-cow, guys, just for the whole spine to feel good. Let's start with cat. So take a full exhale, round the upper back, drop the head, tuck the tailbone. Push the floor away with your hands. And then slowly as you inhale, lifting the tailbone slowly, open the chest, arch the lower back, and bring your gaze up. Slowly exhale and round, dropping the head last. Inhale, slowly lifting and arching and feeling strength on the fingers and your toes. Exhale, slowly round and push. Inhale deeply through the nose as you come into your cow, shoulders relax. Exhale, round and push. Inhale slowly, arching back into our cow. Right here from cow, we're gonna come into puppy pose. So you're gonna keep the hips right on top of the knees, but you're gonna walk the hands way forward towards the front of your mat, and then slowly you're gonna drop the chest or maybe the forehead and drop the elbows down. So it's a variation or a hybrid between child's pose and downward facing dog. We're just trying to bring a little bit of stretch around the shoulders. So keep pressing your toes down, scoop your belly, and push the floor away with your hands and bring your hips more towards the back of your mat. Just breathe. If this is a deep stretch, modify by placing your hands on top of blocks. One more breath in here. And then slowly as you exhale, walk your hands a little closer to you. Back to tabletop. And just take a moment and notice how you feel. Let's do a little twist in here. We're going to thread the needle on the right side. So we're going to bring the right hand under the left. And we're going to walk that right hand out to the side to drop the right shoulder into the mat and the right ear into the mat. Walk your left hand in front of you. Maintain your pelvis neutral, so notice how your body tends to collapse to the left. Bring the hips to the right and lean into that right shoulder. One inhale. And then exhale, walk your left hand next to your face and you can press and lift up. And we're gonna go into the other side. It's all about the spine right now, so thread the needle on the left side. I'm going to show you a modification. If you have a block and reaching the shoulder to the floor is too intense, you can just drop the head into the block and still find that twist in your tabletop. So I'm doing a modification, but you can drop the shoulder and the head and the ear into the floor. One more breath in. And slowly exhale, undo, and press back into our first downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, remember, spread your fingers wide and lifting the hips up and back. We are trying to bring the chest as close as we can to the thighs. And we try to keep the head right in between the elbows. And if you need to bend the knees, you bend the knees. We want to lengthen the spine from the crown of the head through the seat bones, all one diagonal line. Feel free to extend one leg as you bend the opposite knee on your own pace to walk your dog and slowly start stretching the back of your legs. Just noticing your hamstring and just noticing the strength of the upper back. Don't collapse your weight on the shoulders. Try to engage the shoulder blades by pressing them apart. And how do you do that? You externally rotate your biceps and continue to use your fingers to lengthen through the spine. One more inhale. Long exhale. Let's do a couple of sun salutations just to get movement. Bring your feet together to touch. Bend your knees, lifting the heels, and then look forward. And then slowly as you start exhaling, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Or as close as your hands as you can. Take a long inhale, lengthen your spine halfway up. Long exhale, forward fold. Take an inhale, come all the way up to standing, arms overhead, look up. And then exhale slowly, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Long exhale, forward fold. Deep inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead, looking up. Feel strong through the legs. Exhale, scoop your belly and drop the head down as you bring your gaze to your knees. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Long spine. And then as you exhale, bend your knees and plant your palms on the floor. Slowly walk the right foot back and drop the right knee down, coming to your low lunge. Last week, we were practicing fingertips on the ground. Option 1. Option 2, hands into your thighs to help you press back to bring the shoulders above the hips for more deeper stretch of the front thigh. And option 2, scooping the belly, pressing the legs down to help you grow a little taller as you reach the arms up.
So you have 3 options, completely valid and valuable depending on what your body needs today. Full inhale. And then as you exhale, whatever your hands are, make sure they're framing your front foot. Tuck the toes of the right foot. Lift the back leg. High lunge, fingertips down. Left hand into that left hip. Keep your right hand under the right shoulder. We're going to come into a twist. So chest open into the left. Make sure the crown of the head is pointing towards the front of your mat. And then option 1 right here. Option 2, hand all the way up towards the ceiling. Option 3, flip the top palm towards the front and above the ear. Almost like a reverse side angle in here. Breathing in. Remember, use blocks if you need to have a little bit of space between the mat and the floor. One more inhale. Exhale, release the top hand down, undo your twist, step back into downward facing dog. Just notice how good it might feel to just stretch in the body, that energy. It's moving through the entire body. Let's get ready for the other side. So bring your feet together to touch. Bend the knees, rise the heel, look forward, inhale. As you exhale, slowly walk or jump to the top of your mat with precision and control. Inhale, lengthen your spine once you step there. Long exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead, strong legs, reach up, look up. Exhale, slowly release, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. And then as you exhale, hands down, bend the knees, and walk your left foot back. And drop the left knee down for low lunge. Remember to modify, so if you need a blanket or something to give your back knee extra support, completely optional. Front knee on top of the front heel. Choose your option. Option 1, fingers down. Option 2, into your thighs. And option 3, hands above the head. Just a couple breaths to observe. If this pose feels like a struggle, try a different variation. Center your breath. And then slowly release the hands down. And then we're going to tuck the toes of the back foot, lift the back leg. And then right hand into the right hip. A little bit of twist in here. So left hand under the shoulder. I'm just going to do that my variation. I'm going to use a block here to create a little more space for me. And then option 1, hand on the hip. Option 2, hand reaching up. Or option 3, hand forward and above the head. Now close your right hip in and lift the back leg. Pressing through the left ball of your foot. One more inhale, open the chest a little bit more towards the sky. Good. Then as you exhale, release the top hand, release the twist. Stepping back into your downward facing dog. Nice and slow, guys. Good. Just a couple breaths in here. And full exhale. You got this. One more inhale. Bring your seat bones a little higher up. And then exhale, bring the feet together, bend the knees, rise the heels, look forward. And then as you exhale, walk or jump to the top, nice and slow. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Long exhale, release. Inhale, all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, drop your hands, step back into your first plank. Option 1, guys, keep the knees down. Option 2, just lifting the legs, shoulders above the wrist, and push the floor away so you're not sinking, you're pushing strong.
And then take a chaturanga. I'm gonna modify my chaturanga by dropping the knees, bending my elbows back, chest halfway down, and then dropping the chest, the belly down, anchors through the legs and hips, and lift the chest. Nice. And then exhale, chest down, stepping back into downward facing dog. We're just gonna do that one more time just to build some heat in the body, to drain that excess of energy, whether it's tension, stress, worry, sadness, whatever you might be going through. It's all good, it's natural. And just help the body to find its balance. Bring your feet together, bend the knees, rise the heel, look forward. As you exhale, walk or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, scoop in the belly, Uttanasana. Inhale all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthen halfway up. Find your way into plank. Strong core, upper back and legs. Full inhale here. Modify with your knees down if you need to. As you exhale, take a slow chaturanga. Challenge yourself. Stay strong. And then inhale, up dog or cobra. Stay here for a one full breath in. And then long exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Take an inhale, rise your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. So when we come into three-legged dog, the tendency is to collapse our way into the hands. Push the floor away and let that right leg to pull your pelvis back. Bend the top knee and open the right hip. Twisted downward facing dog. Squeeze the right heel into your glute. And then slowly extend the top leg, square your hips slowly. Look forward. First transition, right foot comes forward between the hands, nice and slow. Drop the back heel, coming to warrior two. Starting to feel a little bit more heated into this vinyasa. From warrior two, nice and slow, reverse the warrior. So right palm faces up and then reach up and back. Bend the front knee and lengthen through the right side of the torso. Then come back to center, inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Option one, forearm on the thigh, extending the opposite hand. Option two, hand comes into a block outside your right leg. Twist the chest towards the ceiling, look up or look down. Notice which one feels best. Relax the right shoulder away from the ear. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Extend the front leg, prasarita. So both toes pointing to the wider side of your mat. Hands into your hips. Press the feet apart, so you're pressing through the edges of the feet. And then pull your chest forward and down slowly. Press your thigh bones back. And squeeze the shoulders in here. Squeeze the shoulder blades in. Let the weight of the head feel heavy. And continue to activate your thighs as you're pulling your inner thighs up. One more inhale. And then exhale, slowly come all the way up. And now we're just going to bring our feet pointing towards the back of the mat for warrior two. We're gonna skip the vinyasa for this time, but we're gonna keep doing more. It's on you, warrior, my friend. So from warrior two, take one inhale, feel the pelvis, feel the legs anchoring you down. As you exhale, flip your left palm, reverse your warrior, longer on the left side of your body. And then inhale, come back to center, warrior two. And then find your side angle, right? So again, if you have a block, you can place your hand inside or outside that front foot or rest the forearm.
Just make sure the front thigh is coming as much as you can parallel to the floor, using those legs, opening the hips, rotating the chest. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, back to warrior two. We're gonna skip prasarita and we're gonna do our plank from here. So both hands forward and down or towards the back of your mat. Lift the back leg, step back the front foot and find your plank. Stay in plank for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Drop your knees in here. And then slowly take your Chaturanga Dandasana for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the thighs, the hip, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Use your hands and your feet to anchor to lift the chest a little higher. And then exhale, press back down. Before we go into downward facing dog, let's do a couple of lotus pose. So drop the forehead down. Extend your hands by your side towards the back. And rotate your thumbs so they are pointing away from your hips. Press your shoulder blades together and press and lift your chest up. Option 1 here. Option 2, activate your legs, lift and hover your feet up. And stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your hands by your side, back to downward facing dog. If you need child's pose, completely valid to go into child's pose. Just stay here for a couple breaths. Good. Let's come into pigeon pose on the right side as we work on our hips. So take your right leg, reach it all the way up. If you are in child's pose, you can go straight into pigeon if you want to skip the transition. As you exhale, bring your right knee forward as you open that right foot behind your left hand. And then make sure your hips are square. So I'm going to demo on the other side to show you the variations, which some of you are familiar with and maybe some of you are not familiar with. So if you're coming into pigeon and this feels too much, you have an option to grab a towel or a blanket and place it right under the right hip, or you have a block as well. The idea is once you rest that right hip, then you can bring your left hip forward to keep the hip square, okay? So whichever option you go, I'm gonna give you the freedom to stay high, to work the upper back, or to come into forward fold pigeon, maybe making a pillow with your hands to rest your forehead. It's just one breath, whichever option you choose. To take an inhale. And then as you exhale, let everything go. As you start inhaling, transition back into your downward facing dog. We're gonna try that on the left side. So take a moment here, left leg up and back. As you exhale, bring it forward. Find your pigeon on the left side. As you drop your right knee down, you might want to walk that right leg a little bit towards the back. Just be mindful that we are not seated on the left hip. The left hip is almost lifted because you got to engage those pubic muscles. And then fingertips, block, blanket, staying high or coming into full pigeon. It's just one full mindful breath on your own. Soften the shoulders, the jaw. Observe the breath. Notice your heart beating, perhaps is going faster. The temperature in your body. And slowly from pigeon, nice and slow, come all the way up. Our last vinyasa for today. Step back into your downward facing dog.
Full inhale in downward facing dog. Bring your feet together, rise the heel, bend the knee, look forward. And then as you exhale, walk or jump to the top of your mat. Lengthen your spine, inhale. One, exhale, release. Inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead. And exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, walk or jump back into your plank. Full inhale in plank. Look forward. You can drop the knees nice and slow. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Full inhale for up dog or cobra. And then as you exhale, press back into downward facing dog. One inhale in downward facing dog. And then as you exhale, drop the knees, find your child's pose. Full inhale in child's pose. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale, lift the chest, walk the hands. We're gonna come into seated for Navasana. So nice and slow, come into the center of your mat. And from the center of your mat, we're gonna bend the knees. Almost like we're gonna give the knees a hug. So option one, you can bring your hands behind your thighs to help you lift the chest. And you tippy toes and stay here. You're in the seat bones. Option two, extending the arms forward and just kind of bringing the shin bones parallel. Notice how you kind of lean back. Try to press forward. And option three, extending the legs in here. 1, 2, 3. And then as you go 4, nice and slow, come into half Navasana. You got this. And then drop everything down. Hug the knees into your chest in here. Wrap your arms around and gently rock side to side. I know Navasana is one of those poses that we hold the breath. And drop your feet down as wide as the hips. Keep the heels close to your boots. Extend the arms forward. Let's go into bridge pose for a couple breaths. So roll the shoulder blades in here, lifting the chest. And when you feel ready, press the feet and your hands as you lift the hips up. Keep your gaze looking at your belly. Breathing. Exhale, lift the hips a little bit higher. Inhale. And exhale, slowly bring the hips down. Hug the right knee into the chest. Extend the right leg up. Interlace the fingers behind your right leg, perhaps your calf, your thigh. And then drop that right leg to the chest a little bit. Kicks through the heel here. And then bend that right knee and twist to the left so you can extend your left leg in front and twist into the left with your right knee. Open the right arm. See if you can anchor the right shoulder. This one has to be very gentle. You have to listen to the spine and respect the boundaries of the body. And then slowly come back to your center. Both knees hugging into the chest. And rest your right foot down. And then extend your left leg, interlace fingers somewhere on that left leg. Kick through the heel to activate the muscles. And draw that leg slowly closer to your chest. Soften your face, soften the shoulders, keep your core strong. Then slowly release that leg into the chest, hugging. Extend your right leg so you can twist, supine twist. Remember, you can drop the left toes on the ground. If that left knee doesn't touch the floor, don't force it. Anchor that left shoulder. 1 inhale. And then exhale, come back to center. Release the feet in front of you. Reach the arms overhead and give yourself a long stretch in here.
Let's just enjoy a brief shavasana, hands at your side, closing your eyes.
If you have a blanket or a towel, you can use that blanket behind your neck. Maybe you want to place it underneath your knees, or perhaps on top of your hips for a little bit of support and heavy. Feels nice. And just reconnect here with stillness and observe. Observe how your body feels after this movement, the temperature, your heart beating, the breath. Full observation with self-compassion. Just feeling gratitude for your commitment for self-care. Just be fully present as you let the body adjust and observe all the practice. Just enjoy a brief moment of silence. Very gently, as you start deepening the breath, bring some movement to your toes and your fingers. In your next inhale, reach the arms overhead. Give yourself a long stretch as you point your toes. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and side bend to the left. Slowly come back to center and switch side. Pulling your left wrist up with your right hand to the right. And then slowly release and hug the knees into your chest. And just gently rock side to side. And keep your eyes closed. Stay connected with this moment. Rolling to your right side. Just notice what feels like to be a little bit more balanced within, more present, more focused. Take a long breath in. And as you exhale, using your left hand, press into the ground to lift yourself up and back into your comfortable seated. Please grab a blanket, a block, or anything you have nearby if you feel like sitting a little taller feels more comfortable. As you cross your legs, keep your eyes closed and rest your palms somewhere on your thighs. Observe the yoga glow of your practice. And take a slow inhale in. Observe the belly and the ribs expanding. And take a full, slow exhale and notice how your ribs and your belly contracts. Another one, deep breath in, growing a little taller through the spine. And full breath out, exhale. Bring your palms together in the center of your heart as we bow our head forward to close our practice together. Now more than ever, I know each and every one of you are feeling grateful for this practice. The ability to help us to be balanced and focused and centered.
connected to calmness and stillness, one breath at a time, one movement at a time, one day at a time. Let's just send our highest positive vibration to the entire world. And everyone, everywhere finds peace and health and kindness. And thank you for being here today. It's truly an honor. I'm so grateful to connect with you virtually. Namaste, guys. Thank you so very much to each and every one of you for being here today. I really hope this have helped you to feel back to your best self. I'm gonna hang out for as long as you want me to, because I wanna know how are you doing, how are you feeling. This is the whole point of these classes, is not only to practice together, but have a sense of community support. And I have never been so excited to teach now that it's so needed. And we have this wonderful technology that connects us. People from all over the world, people from my dear past, people. It's just such a blessing to see you. So thank you everybody. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you wanna chit chat and let me know what's going on with you, how can I help, please let me know.